Yo, it's Crazy Kurt Comics. Hey, a year ago, around this time, Ultimate Spider-Man hit the stands, and it was one of the biggest things that happened for Marvel and in comics in all of last year. And I got to tell you, I screwed up big time. So we're going to talk about what I did, or I should say, what I didn't do last year around this time. And we're going to discuss Ultimate Spider-Man and the whole craziness that happened, the whole craziness that went on during. Yo, it's Crazy Kurt Comics. Now, about a year ago, Ultimate Spider-Man #1 hit the stands, and it was one of the biggest things that happened in all of comics, let alone Marvel, in all of last year. We're going to discuss my big mistake, and we're going to discuss what I did, or what I should say I didn't do last year around this time. We're going to discuss the Ultimate books. We're going to discuss how that led into the Absolute Universe, and we're going to go over the craziness of the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 last year. It's going to be a short video. I got a clip from last year to show you some stuff that I screwed up on. But stick around. The more you stick around, the more you find out. It's Crazy Kurt Comics. All right, so thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. If you can hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell, ding, 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 ding. Hey, get notified every time I'm going to do a video. I can't believe it's been a year since Ultimate Spider-Man came out. And no one was expecting it to be what it was. You know, the previous series that came out before that, The Ultimate Invasion, did fairly well. But not like the craziness that went on when Ultimate Spider-Man came out. Ultimate Spider-Man came out, and the day of the release, New Comic Book Day, I was in my LCS. And I like to go to my LCS, and we joke around a lot, we talk. And it's just a good time. I look through the books. I'm always going through back issues and then just having a good old time doing comic book stuff. I was comic booking. I don't even know if that's a verb. Can we make it a verb? Comic booking. But that's what I was doing. And my LCS, their wall is set up alphabetical. So the A's are at the top, and then, it goes all the way down to the end, and it comes back again, the next letter, whatever. And Ultimate Spider-Man is all the way at the bottom. And I was talking, and I was doing everything, and I left the store that day without an Ultimate Spider-Man. So no big deal. I'll go back the next day to go get one, and it was sold out. And it was not just my LCS. It was everywhere. People were calling immediately on eBay. Prices went out of control. Now, check out this video I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a clip right here of a video I made for TikTok last year. Me not getting my Ultimate Spider-Man and looking at the eBay prices. It's pretty crazy. Let's take a look. Yo, it's Crazy Kurt Comics. I went to the LCS today. Man, I had a good time joking around, laughing. I bought my comics. I was a happy camper, went all the way home and realized I forgot to buy an Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Man, this still bothers me. It bothers me so much. I am so annoyed at myself. And then, to make matters worse, you go on eBay. Prices they're getting for an A cover or a B cover. This is absolutely wow, that's just nuts. I just can't believe it. Now, if you remember what happened, you couldn't even get a second printing because you had to know that you needed a second printing and put the order in well before. It was only a few days later. You had the cutoff date was. So you missed that one. So I ended up, because I wasn't paying the crazy prices that you saw here on eBay, I ended up getting a third printing of Ultimate Spider-Man. So it's one of the misses, one of the fails in comic booking. I'm still going to push that. It's going to be a verb someday, comic booking. It's one of the fails I had from 2024 is that I did not attain a copy of Ultimate Spider-Man #1. But now, a year later, we could check, I like to use Comic Book Realm, but you can check Go Collect, you can check Cover Price, you can just check eBay sold listings. Obviously, it's only worth what someone's willing to pay. But just as a general sense for a high-grade copy, which most modern comic books should be high-grade, you should get around $50. This is a $50 value for a cover of Ultimate Spider-Man, which, like I said, I do not have. But I still have a copy of it, and I'm still able to read it, and it's one of the best, if not the best, Marvel book that they put out last year. Hey, it relaunched the Ultimate Universe because of the success of this book. Black Panther sold out. Ultimate X-Men sold out. Later on, the Ultimate sold out. And then we're just got into Ultimate Wolverine, which I just picked up 2 copies of. And because I didn't get this one, I made sure I got 2 copies of each of them. I keep one for myself and maybe one to help make up the difference. Maybe if I sell enough of the other copies, maybe I can find the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 fairly cheap that I can attain for my collection. But the sales for the Ultimate books, just drove the market nuts. And I don't care what anybody says. It's no joke that at the end of that year, Absolute Batman comes out, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman. So, crazy stuff with the Ultimate books. But this is a great story. Hey, if you haven't read these individual issues, go get the trade paperback. This is an absolutely phenomenal series. It's, the Ultimate Universe. It starts out with an older Peter Parker, and he doesn't have his powers. And it just, I don't want to give away too much of the story if you haven't read it. But if you haven't read it, this is a great jumping on point. For people who like Spider-Man and maybe want a different take on Spider-Man, everybody knows the origin of Spider-Man. He's a teenage kid. He's in the lab. He gets bit by a radioactive spider. And, he develops Spider-Man powers. All right, we all know that. He has a rogues gallery of villains, Green Goblin and Scorpion and Mysterio and Dr. Octopus. We get all that. But for new readers to go in and jump onto a point and discover it with new eyes, a slightly different way, that's the joy of the Ultimate Universe books. But there is a balance. There is a balance. Marvel does have the balance. They can't just relaunch every character in the Ultimate Universe. They can't have a Gambit, Ultimate Gambit. They can't have an Ultimate, She-Hulk. They can't have, actually, I think they are doing Ultimate She-Hulk. If I read somewhere, I think I read that somewhere. You let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But did I not read that they were going to do an Ultimate She-Hulk? I could be wrong. But you can't do Ultimate Moon Knight and Ultimate Punisher. They could be guest stars in these books, but you can't have 25 books in the 616 and then 25 books in the Ultimate Universe. It's just oversaturation. You just can't. So, Ultimate books, a few is exactly what they should have, and that's exactly what they do have. As a juxtaposition, look at what they're doing with the X-Men books. There's got to be 75 different X-Men mutant books right now in Marvel, and no one's reading any of them. Mystique. Do we need a Mystique book? Do we need a Sentinel book? These books are just not needed. 3 or 4 good mutant books, 3 or 4 different types of teams. Let, if you want to have a Storm book, okay. If you want to have a Gambit book, okay. You want to have a Wolverine book, let them do their solo adventures off somewhere else when not with the team. But Ultimate books, they got 4 titles. That's all you need. You don't need 75 different titles like they're doing in mutant books. I get it. They're trying to throw stuff to the wall and see what sticks. And nothing is sticking, I don't believe, in the mutant books. But you tell me in the comments if you're reading any of the mutant books, if that's working for you. Ultimate Universe is working. But again, I don't want to see tons of Ultimate books. Keep it where it's at now. Let people guest star and then let it grow organically from that. Don't force it, which is kind of funny because Marvel's forcing everything. And it's not just them. DC does the same thing. But a year ago, I missed out, and I'm sad for it. But I didn't miss out on the other ones, thank God. Did you get a copy of Ultimate Spider-Man? Which one did you get? I would have loved to got the black suit variant Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I think that thing goes for double the price of the A cover. But awesome covers they did for this. It's an awesome book. If you haven't read it, take some time out in your comic book hobby. Go get a copy. Go get a trade paperback of Ultimate Spider-Man. You read them first 6 issues, and if you aren't in love with it, then, then put it down. Hey, you don't have to love everything. But a far majority of people, if you like Spider-Man, you're going to like Ultimate Spider-Man. All right, so that's my video for today. As I said, it was a short one. Just, I've got a reminder that video came up a year ago, and it bummed me out again because I missed out. Sometimes it happens in comics. What are you going to do? But me and Spidey here, we're going to hang out and, and look at some comic books. Because that's what we do. We're comic booking. It's going to be a word, people. It's going to be a word. Comic booking. Webster's Dictionary, 2025 word of the year. Comic booking. I'm Crazy Kurt. Thanks for sticking around. And when we stick around, and we find out. Peace.